Hi everybody, how you doing today? Well, I'm doing pretty good, and welcome to Prairie Girl 71. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about one of Laura's friends that she had when she was, I can't remember what city she was in, but Ida B. Wright. That is a picture of her. Now, Ida Bell Wright was born on 24th September 1866 in Chicago, Illinois, the fourth child of Thomas and Catherine Wright. Sadly, most of Ida's family was killed in the Great Chicago Fire of October 1871. Only Ida and an older brother Henry appear to have survived. Little has been known about Ida's adoption. Her descendants recall Ida saying that her brother was adopted and taken west to live. Ida was supposedly taken out of a home and adopted by Reverend and Mrs. Edward Brown. On 2nd of May, 1867, Reverend Brown married his second wife, Laura Jane Goodale, and the couple lived in Minnesota, Massachusetts, Ohio, and Wisconsin. That's a lot of places to live. If you ask me, I think it's a really lot of places. Prior to settling in Dakota Territory, searches in counties where the Browns are known to have resided prior to 1880 have yet to yield any records of Ida's adoption. Before moving to a preempted claim south of DeSmet, however, Ida lived with the Browns in West Salem, Wisconsin. And it was here that Reverend Brown had Ida declared as his legal heir. Ida Wright became one of Laura Ingalls' closest friends in DeSmet. Although Laura wrote that Ida had no plans to teach school, Ida earned a probational teaching certificate on the 16th of April, 1885. The 2nd of May, 1885, DeSmet Leader reported that Miss Ida Wright was engaged to teach a school in Manchester Township. While Laura taught the Wilkins School, Ida was teaching only a few miles away. Included in stories of Laura's courtship with Almanza Wilder in these happy golden years is mention of Ida's beau, Elmer. Elmer McConnell was born 28th of September, 1861, in Nevada, Ohio. The youngest of four children of Alexander and Leanna Wortman Brown. McConnell, sorry. Following his father's death, Elmer both farmed and trained as a teacher. In 1884, he came to DeSmet and was hired to work on Reverend Brown's farm. Elmer went back to Ohio to teach that winter, but returned in the spring and filed a tree claim between Manchester and DeSmet, just east of where Ida was teaching. From the Nevada-Ohio Enterprise, April 1885, Mr. E. McConnell returned to his home in Dakota today. During his stay here, he taught a very successful term of school in Eden Township. Elmer is one of the boys who does not wait for something to turn up, but jostles against what may be in his way, pushes it aside, and then goes ahead. On 3rd of December, 1885, Ida and Elmer were married. Their wedding announcement in the Leader read, McConnell Wright, at the residence of the officiating clergyman, Reverend Edward Brown of DeSmet, Dakota, Mr. Elmer E. McConnell and Miss Ida B. Wright, adopted daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Brown. This newly married couple have the hearty congratulations of their many friends. They will make this their future home. Ida and Elmer lived on the tree claim, the north by northeast and north by northwest 271157. They had 3 children born in DeSmet. Laura, September 1886. Mark, September 1888. He was named for Reverend Brown's son, who had died the previous year. And Robert, November 1890. Not much is known about Laura's contact with her old school friend after they were married, but one might imagine the two of them visiting each other now and then, especially as their daughters were so close in age and they both were expecting their second babies in the same summer. We can also only wonder if Ida's choice of name of her oldest daughter was influenced by the name of her best school friend, as much as the name of her adopted mother. About the time Laura, Almanzo, and Rose left DeSmet for Spring Valley, Elmer relinquished his tree claim and the McConnells moved to West Superior in Douglas County, Wisconsin. While the family lived in Wisconsin, Elmer worked as a carpenter, school janitor, and grocer at different times. 2 more children were born to Elmer and Ida in Wisconsin. Eva, November 1893, and James, September 1901. Reverend Edward Brown died at the home of Elmer and Ida McConnell in West Superior on the 23rd of March, 1895. Ida's adopted mother, Laura Brown, had died in DeSmet on the 9th of September, 1889, before the McConnells moved to Wisconsin. Around 1911, the McConnells moved to Perkins, California, just east of Sacramento. Once again, Elmer farmed and Ida was a housewife. Their daughters, Laura and Ava, became public school teachers. Laura had married in Wisconsin, and the couple moved close by with Ida and Elmer's first grandchild. Son James became a dentist and moved to Arizona, but he soon returned to California. Robert became the local mail carrier. Mark went into banking, married in Montana, and worked in Idaho and Washington before returning to California. Ida and Elmer soon had both children and grandchildren living close by. That's really nice. You know, it's always nice to have family nearby. Ida and Elmer apparently never made it back to DeSmet, and sadly, Ida died before the Little House books were even written. Ida died at age 59 on 26th of January, 1926. She was buried in the Masonic Lawn Cemetery in Sacramento. Shortly after Ida's death, Elmer wrote to Carter Sherwood in DeSmet, "Dear friend, I am enclosing the death notice from the Sacramento Union of my wife who left us at our home near Sacramento after an illness of 10 days, pneumonia and complications. We always thought of DeSmet and hoped sometime to visit the home of some of our happiest days and the friends of our youth among them. We recount you as one of the staunchest. Very sincerely yours, E. McConnell." That Laura knew enough to know that Ida and Elmer ended up in California suggests that she might have been in at least sporadic contact with Ida through the years. She may simply have heard of Ida's death in California from one of the family back in DeSmet, who read the obituary quoted above. But if she did have some correspondence with Ida, one wonders if she would have tried to see her old friend when she visited Rose in California in 1915. Of course, no mention of Ida is included in West from Home, so it must be assumed that they did not ever see each other again, after they both initially moved from the DeSmet area in the early 1890s. Following Ida's death, Elmer lived with daughter Eva. Elmer died at age 81 on 13th of November 1942. And what happened to Ida and Elmer's children? Laura died in Sacramento in 1965 at age of 78. Mark died in 1939. Elmer was buried beside him. Robert died in Sacramento in 1961. Eva married in 1931 and had no children. She died in 1961. James returned to California after Ida's death and set up practice in Columbia, where he died in 1961. Ida and Elmer had 9 grandchildren. 3 are still living in California. Some of Ida's descendants are aware of the Little House books written by Ida's old school friend Laura. While 2 grandchildren did visit the memorial societies in both DeSmet and Mansfield in the 1980s, the full story of what happened to Ida B. Wright was not widely known among fans until now. This is an article that was in the Laura Ingalls Wilder lore. I'm still getting used to this camera. It's a new camera, so. But like I said before, that's a picture of Ida. And there is a picture in here of, that is her grave actually. Ida's grave in Sacramento. Now be on the lookout. I do have a couple of more articles that I will be getting out there for you guys from the Laura Ingalls Wilder lore. So be on the lookout for those. And if you guys have any questions or anything, put it in the comments below, and I will try and research it and get an answer for you. So until next time, you guys, be nice to each other, because kindness is a great thing. Bye!